Hey Baker, given everything that went down last year, how eager are you to get out there and play and see what this offense looks like in an actual game?
I mean, it has nothing to do with last year. I'm just excited to get back out there again. It's like it's been a long time since we've been on the field playing football. I mean, without the preseason games, we've been going against each other for a long time. So it'll be good to go up against somebody else.
There's this impression out there that teams with new offenses or new coaches, might get off to a slow start because of the way this offseason went with no OTAs, everything being virtual. What do you say to that? Do you buy that, or do you feel like you guys can operate as if it was just like a normal offseason going into your first game?
I mean, that could be an excuse if you wanted to use it, but we're not doing that. We know what we have to do. We've installed everything. We're putting together a good game plan, and we'll have that, ready to roll. So everybody just has to go out there and execute it. It's not about what's happened, the adversity. It's about, how you handle those things. That's just our motto.
Tom Withers, your line is open.
Thanks, Rob. Hey, Baker. Hey, we were talking to Rashard Higgins the other day, who he was the latest one to say that you appear to be more focused this year. Is that just something, Baker, that's organically happened, or has that really been intentional by you?
Yeah, I think it's organic. I think the guys see, when you come back, and we hadn't seen each other in so long, the physical differences and all that, and just the mental work of trying to learn this offense and pick it up quickly. They notice those types of things, so I think it's organic.
And you've talked to before about this being, excuse me, you were out to prove something this year. Did things come too easily for you in year one, Baker?
No, I wouldn't say that. We just good things happened late down the stretch when we, had the coaching change and just kind of let it fly. So out to prove, but to be much better than what I've shown in the 2 years prior.
Gerald Ryder, you're up.
Hey, Baker, this is your third offense in as many years, your third coach in as many years. That's not easy on a young player, understandably. Now that you've gone through training camp, you've gotten to get on the field and work with Stefanski's offense. I'm sure you're confident heading into the season, but where are you at? Do you feel like you've been able to maybe take a pretty nice step forward over these last 4 or 5 weeks?
Yes, I would have to agree. Improved over the last, the training camp session, just based on, it's one thing to learn the offense over Zoom meetings, but then go out there and practice it, rep it, and really have a feel for it. So, yeah, there's definitely been a lot of improvement.
So much is made of chemistry, and this offense, just based on what it seems that Kevin's going to ask of you. How do you feel about that aspect and the, everybody's involved, fullbacks, running backs, receivers? It's a very comprehensive, deep offense. So how do you feel about that chemistry aspect going in?
I feel good about it. It's like you said, there's an offense where there's a lot of accountability. You got to be where you're supposed to be and be there on time. And, same goes for my reads, listen to the footwork, feel the, go through the reads and trust that, and trust that they're going to call plays to get the ball into people's hands.
Nate Ulrich, we'll go to you.
Hey, Baker, obviously you guys won last year in Baltimore. They got on a roll after that and just never stopped until the playoffs. So just what kind of importance do you place? I know every game's important, but starting off the season against the AFC North champions at their place against the reigning MVP, how huge would this be for you guys to get off on the right foot against this team in particular?
It's obviously a big game. Obviously a very great opponent, but not only that, the division games, they count more so when you look at the standings in the end. So it's a very important game for us against a great team.
Didi Kinkawala, you're up.
Good morning, Baker. You are actually only the 6th quarterback in the history of the NFL to be drafted in the first round and have 3 coaches in 3 years. Any chance that you've talked to anyone else who's experienced that? Do you feel like it's sort of a defining thing of your first, 3 years or your first 2 years that you've had that much turnover?
First of all, that's a wild stat. I can find that. No, that's not a defining thing for me. Like I said, it's could be an excuse if you use it, but that's not what I'm doing here. So singular focus on this year and what we can do, and that's the ultimate goal. So move forward.
And so last year when you beat them, September 29th, is that tape relevant? Have you spent a lot of time watching that?
I think all tape, when you play a division opponent that keeps the same coordinators, is all relevant to see how they're trying to scheme you up to defend your whole team. Obviously, it's a new year, and not only is it new for us, but they have a lot of new personnel as well. So it's going to be, you have a base game plan, but since we don't have any preseason film to go off of, go out there and execute our plays and adapt.
Scott Patrick, your line's open.
Hey, Baker, how important is it for you to find the accuracy that maybe you had as a rookie but didn't have as much last year?
Completing passes is very important, getting the ball in the playmaker's hands. So I'd say, that's pretty important.
Did you feel like, were you happy with where you were in that regard during training camp?
There's always room for improvement. That's why I haven't gone perfect in a game yet. So there's always room for improvement.
How much does that have to relate to the comfort level with the new system?
I think a little bit of half and half of, realizing that once you have the plays down, just go out there and execute it. It's not all new at a certain point. Once you rep it, just go out there and execute it.
Mary Kay Cabot, you're up.
Hey, Baker, when we talked to Miles at one point, he mentioned how you guys kind of made a little bit of a pact together, how he was going to take his defensive side of the ball and really step up and be the leader they needed him to be. You promised to be that for the offense. Can you just talk a little bit about that and how you view your role in doing that this season?
Yeah, no, I truly believe that, everything happens for a reason. So Miles and I have been brought here the 2 years in a row, just to be culture changers, to turn this thing around. And it's not a quick process, but, we both felt that we can do more and that we're definitely capable of it. It's not a burden. That's something that we're blessed with, is to be able to be in that position to help turn this thing around. So, yeah, we took it upon ourselves to take responsibility, but we know it's not all on us. We have to lead, we have to show guys by example, but we have great guys around us that we can count on.
Thank you.
Excellent. Jeff Shadell, you're up.
Can you talk about that gold bracelet you wear on your left wrist? I'm curious about that. What's the story behind that?
It's a Christmas gift from my wife.
All right. Our next one will go to Nate Ulrich.
Hey, Baker, first of all, with Kareem Hunt signing the extension, what do you think about him being locked up with the Browns for a couple more years? And then just that running back tandem of Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt having a chance to be together for a full season, how much can it really mean to this offense? How valuable can it be for you guys to have those two guys rolling for hopefully a full 16?
Yeah, I think we're all extremely happy for Kareem, proud of him for the work he's put in, for the changes he's made, to be here in his hometown. Everybody's happy for him, but he's a vital part of our team, mentality-wise, culture-wise, but then on the field, obviously, his skills and his play speaks for itself. So just having a guy to help take some of that load off of Nick, but also at the same time, teams have to game plan for both of them. They're two different players, two different runners. So it's great to have those guys on our team.
Nick Shook, you're up.
Hey, Baker. So you talked about the culture changing role that you and Miles have taken on since you've gotten there. What kind of role has Nick Chubb taken in regards to that?
Silent assassin. Doesn't speak much, but when he does, it carries weight. He's always been a guy to lead by example, and that's just how some guys are. You don't want him to be anybody he's not, and so we're going to ask him to do that. But we don't have to ask him; he does it every day. And
also with that culture change point, how has Coach Stefanski kind of affected that since he's come on board?
The accountability sense, I think just everybody, has to do their job. The mentality of we're counting on everybody in this building, not only players, but staff, everybody that has a hand in the pot to do their job to help us win. It's about winning.
Mary Kay, back to you.
Yeah, two questions real quick, if I may. First of all, do you guys, knowing that you went in there and won last year, does that give you the confidence to say, hey, nobody thought we were going to do it last year. Nobody thinks we were going to can do it this year, but we know we can?
No, to be honest with you, last year doesn't matter. They're a great team. And for the last part of that season, if you're counting about that, then, I mean, they were on a roll. So it's a new year, new personnel, new coaching staff for us. So it's a clean slate on our minds.
And then real quick, just in looking over their defensive secondary, pretty formidable group back there. What's running through your mind as you watch film on those guys?
Yeah, obviously you said it, a great opponent. You got good players all around. And then they're asking Deshaun Elliott, who was a guy that I played against in college, to step up and fill that role. Earl Thomas is gone now. So, they have strong players in the back end. But not only that, they're pretty strong defensively overall. But yeah, it's fun to watch and see how they were. And then I think it's for us to be able to go out there and react to scheme-wise, if they're any different, the things they change up. So I'm interested to see that.
And our last question will go to Stephanie Lopez.
Hi, Baker. I'm working on a Charlie Brewer feature for Big Noon Kickoff. And I'm just wondering how you know the Brewer family specifically. I couldn't find that information.
Jake Trotter might actually know more about that than I do. But the Brewer family grew up in Lake Travis. Michael was the quarterback ahead of me in high school. He was 2 years older. And so I was always over at their house. Great family. Their dad played at Texas. Uncle was an Oklahoma guy. Very football-rich family tradition is all there. And then Charlie was a youngster, kind of came into his own, but 3 or 4 years younger than me. I think 4. But just always watched him, kept in touch with him. Actually talked to him a couple days ago, but he's doing well. And I'm happy for him to be able to get out there and play another year.
Great. And then he's obviously a senior, obviously working towards a pro. How high do you think his ceiling could be?
As high as he wants it. I think that there's enough guys that are around our size to prove that, it doesn't matter how tall you are, but the production speaks for itself. So I'm hoping and praying for a great season for Charlie and to be able to take that next step to the next level.